Welcome back to another Photoshop tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to create another advertising scene like this one. Pay attention to the tricks and share this tutorial with your friends. Step number 1. Let's create our own background. For the first layer of your background, you need a solid color. As I told you in my previous techniques, all you need to do is to click on adjustment icon and create a solid color. After that, just set the brightness to 90%, and as you can see, we have our solid color. Now select a new layer and your solid color together, right click on one of them and convert it into a smart object. Now go to filter, click on filter gallery. In texture folder, click on texturize and follow these numbers. And pay attention to the light direction. Now by pressing OK, the first layer of our background is set. It's time for designing our background. At first, create a new layer. After that, click on your foreground color and change it to these numbers. After that, by pressing OK, your foreground color has been set. Now, enable the brush and in brush setting, follow these settings. Now, let us zoom out and create something like this one. And another one in this area. It's okay for the second layer of the background. For the third layer of our background, we need to create a new layer, and after that we are going to use a custom brush like this one. We have used this brush in Peaky Blinders project for creating a snow scene. And we need to change our foreground color to these numbers. 330 in hue, 80% of saturation, and 40% of brightness. After that, just by clicking on the scene, you can see that we are going to have something like this one. Now, we need to create a layer mask for our new layer, so these following patterns would be applied only on our design section. So, press and hold Ctrl key, click on the thumbnail of your last layer, and now come to the new layer and click on layer mask. And as you can see, the changes only have been applied on designing section. Last layer of our background, we are going to use this vector in our design. The vector has been imported into the project, and as you can see, it was adjusted in this area. Now the background is ready. Step number 2. Let us bring the car into the project. We are going to use this Mclaren in our project. I have already removed the background and I have changed the color for making it more interesting in the scene. If you don't know how to change a color, just watch my previous techniques. The car has been imported into the project. Now, let's adjust it with the scene and create a shadow for making it more blending with our background. The car has been adjusted with the project and I have created a shadow for it for making it more blending. Now the second step is completed. Step number 3. Let us bring on some text and shape into the project. At first, let us import the Mclaren logo into the project. The logo has been imported into the project and it was adjusted at the top of my scene. Now, all I need to do is to change the color of this text, not the whole logo. For changing the color of some part of your object, all you need to do is to press Ctrl and click on the thumbnail of your object so it would be selected. After that, set your color to your desired one. And now, enable the brush, and just by brushing on the areas that you would like to change the color of some parts would be changed. For the second layer, I have created this text for the model of our car. And now I would like to change the color of this part of my text. When you would like to change some part of your text color, you can just click on your text and after that enable the horizontal type tool. Now, just select the part of your text that you would like to change the color and click on this icon. And now insert your desired color. And by applying your changes, you can see the color of some part of your text has been changed. The next layer of this step is this text, best car for rent today. Now, let us make it more interesting in appearance. At first, select your horizontal type tool or just click on T key on your keyboard. And after that, let us change the color of this one and set it to the color of our project. Now, let us change the rent word color into white, pure white, and after that, create a new layer. Now, enabling the rectangular marquee tool and create a box for this text like that. Now, by setting our foreground color to our project color, and pressing the Alt and backspace together, you can see that we are going to have a box like this one. And now, by changing the position of our layer, it's the final appearance of this text in the middle of our scene. For the last text in our design, we are going to need two shapes. One of them is this pointing way that I told you how to create it in Pizza Time project. And now for the next one, let us enable the rectangle tool and create a shape like this one. After that, let us curve the edges by clicking on this icon and dragging it. Something like this is okay. The fill color is the same color with our project, 330 in hue, 80% of saturation and 100% of brightness. And we don't need any stroke for this shape. Now, let me adjust it with the pointing way. Something like this one is fine. Now, let's change the appearance of this shape so it would look like a key in our scene. At first, double-click on your shape layer. Now, enable the bevel and emboss. Style inner bevel, technique smooth. Depth 700%, direction up, size 8 pixel, and we don't need any soften in this kind of process. In shading, set the angle to 90 degree or you can set it to anything that you would like. I would like to set it to 120. The altitude is 30 degree and the glass contour is the first one, the default. Now for the highlighted mode, set it to linear dodge. The opacity 50% and the color is white. For the shadow mode, set it to multiply, opacity 50%, and you can pick the color from your shape. But reduce the brightness to something like 40%. Now, as you can see, our shape would look like a key. Well done, my friend. The tutorial is finished and now you can see the final text. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and share this video with your friends. See you in the next tutorial.